mercy. I was so nervous about this. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with the voice commentary. It's the top 12 tonight. They performed, and let me tell you, the top of the show especially, I was like, oh, these kids are singing tonight. The Voice is live tonight. The top 12 compete. Garth Brooks is the key advisor for all the contestants. The coaches no longer have a vote, and one person will be going home tomorrow night. Voting is open at the top of the show, so you can vote for anybody at the top of the show in several different formats. If you don't know, ask down in the comments, and I'll put it down because I have a thing that has that there for you. And we start the multiples this week. If somebody makes it in the top 10 of the purchased iTunes charts, then their votes will be multiplied by 10. And Carson also mentioned that the 4 finalists will be doing original songs in the finale. We started out with performances. TeamBlake Sundance headed in My Church by Maren Morris. And Garth had a lot of ideas on how to arrange the song and had a lot of great energy. It was bouncing around the stage during rehearsal. I'm not going to talk about their rehearsal footage a lot, but he just had so much energy. It was so much input on everything, on doing the arrangements, how to break this down, how to build this up, how to do this, how to do that. He was a very, very good key advisor. For the performance, this is another current song choice from Sundance, and the rehearsal footage sounded really good. I like the churchy, devotional opening that broke right down into an acoustic feel with him wailing away. Love the pace and the way it pushed his vocal harder and harder all the way to the end. He was wailing this out and really telling the story, and I couldn't tell that this was anyone else's song. I felt like it was his song. He made it his own. The on-stage background was a nice touch, but this was all about him. TeamMiley was up next with Darby Walker. She did Ruby Tuesday by the Rolling Stones. And in the beginning, I was loving the sound of her voice. Though her stage movements were a little mechanical, her voice was in tune and had such a distinct tone and timbre. And she also had a good amount of belting power that I hadn't heard from her before in the chorus. And she went back between the lighter sound and the belting, and it was really, really nice. I wrote also this was a good song choice for her. TeamAlicia was up next with Cuevas. He did The Scientist by Coldplay, and he dedicated this to his girlfriend. I like the way he really feels the lyrics, and you can tell that he's really thought about them and has a point of view when he sings. He also brings on the emotion from the start, but doesn't overdo it. I was waiting for those big notes, really, because I heard them in rehearsal, and I was just waiting, and he just kind of kept me on the edge of my seat for a long time. I was like, okay, when is he coming out with it? And he just milked it and got a little bigger, got a little bigger, got a little bigger, till bam! All my anticipation was just like, wow, this man really killed this. At the end, it felt really good. Miley and Alicia both stood for him. Next up, Saraya did Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. And this is a song that the bands do all the time. We do it. Every band generally does it like really at the end of the night, maybe the last 2 or 3 or 4 songs. And so I hear it all the time. I hear guys do it. I hear girls do it. So I've heard it dozens of times. Dozens, maybe hundreds of times. That being said, I loved her attack on the lyrics and her small melody changes. Though I was missing her singing the lead line until she hit it decisively by herself, because most of the background were doing it when it first came up, and then she did the Livin on a Prayer, and I was like, oh, go ahead, all right, she hit it. But I was missing it before this. I was typing as she was singing. The change in feel for the second verse was a nice, interesting change, and she sang the spit out of it on the end with her own style, her own little soulful inflections. She really interpreted this well and really made the story personal. Miley said she was made for the rock stuff and called her awesome, and Blake called her amazing. And if you think I'm amazing, please make sure to thumb up the commentary and let me know that you're watching, that you're enjoying it. I'm trying out some new things. I'm cutting some stuff and trying to put some other stuff in, so let me know what you think down in the comments. All right, thank you so much for your thumbs. TeamAdam was up next with Billy Gilman. He did The Show Must Go On by Queen. Oh, Lord have mercy. I was so nervous about this. This is a really big song, but I had no doubt that he could handle it. I was just like, oh my God, what he's gonna do, what he's gonna do. Lots of red was on the stage and him all in black, lots of attitude. I like the intensity he was displaying throughout. He's another one that really seems to internalize the lyrics on each song he performs. Some of it was very dramatic. I don't know if it was over dramatic, but it was very dramatic, and his vocals were consistently stellar throughout. Some places where I felt like maybe they could have cut something or whatever, but I don't know. Those high notes were amazing though, and all the coaches stood for him. TeamBlake then had Allsup. He did Do Right Woman, Do Right Man by Aretha Franklin. And another, I was like, okay, all right, what's going on here? In rehearsal, he did the song kind of straightforward, and it was okay and all right, but when he did it in performance, he changed up the feel, made it more of a southern rock style, really fit him a lot better, and I was enjoying it. That kick as we hit the pre-chorus really drove the song forward, though I was missing some of the lyrics from him. The enunciation wasn't quite there for me. He was wailing away on those notes though, and they sounded pretty good, but he seemed a little scared of them at points, like he was scared of his own power. I mean, but he had the notes. I liked that he came off the mic stand and had some fun before going back to the mic stand for the ending. He made some interesting choices, and I was enjoying most of them. Then we had TeamAlicia with McDonald. She did Take Me to Church by Hozier. Yeah, baby! She started this standing and playing the piano. Those low notes are so deceptive because she's so clear when she starts to soaring into her upper range. Her moves on stage felt like she was feeling this through her whole body and singing for her life. Great closing on the big note too. And she did this one little move where she was singing and she kind of got the little Holy Ghost real quick. I was like, all right. It made me go, yeah, all right, sing, girl. Tell me what you thought down in the comments. Then we had TeamMiley with Gibson. He did Hollywood Forever Cemetery Sings by Father John Misty. And I really liked the opening visual. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And then the lights up, coming up on him playing the guitar. I also really liked the gruff and growl in his voice, but I wondered if there are any other elements to it that he might be able to showcase. I think this was a good idea for a song choice for his show, like when he's performing out somewhere, doing a set or something like that. But I was like, maybe not for the competition, because there were points where it was like nothing were going on. It's such a short period of time. And I was just, I don't know, it seemed like there were places where there should have been something happening, and it just wasn't. And I was like, what's going? And then he would sing, so, I don't know. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, if you know the song especially. It wandered a little bit for me. I was just saying that, and it had moments where I was wondering if something was missing or if he missed something. Next up, we had TeamBlake with Courtney Harrell doing I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. And she started out on the chorus and then went into the verse. Choices. It seemed like she was having a little trouble getting her breath in the verse, but her voice was sailing by the second time she hit the chorus. The bridge was a little shaky, but she blew out those big notes really well. After the third chorus, she really seemed to be running out of steam to me, and this wasn't her best performance on the show. I just was worried about her breath support and her control, and I felt like, and at the end, I mean, you know, I've had those performances where I've been like, ooh, yeah, I know this song is real high for me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got through it. To me, she gave me that ending. It was like, all right, I made it. You know, I made it to the finish line. So you should really always feel like you have more to give when you finish, and I just didn't feel like that. Next up was TeamAdam with Josh Gallagher doing Why by Jason Aldean. And he started this out sitting in the middle of the crowd, and they started that annoying swing. Does that get to you every time? I'm like, stop! Oh, Lord! His voice rang out very well on this tune, and I had a nice little twang with it. He had little flutters here and there on the end of the notes that I really liked. He worked the crowd like a pro, and he was feeling this, and he faked me out when he looked like he was about to fall to his knees at one point, and he didn't, and then for the ending, he kind of fell down to his knees and did his thing. I was really into this, and I was liking the sound of his voice. At points, I felt like he was a little nasal, but it didn't take away from it for me. Again, let me know what you thought about these performances down in the comments. TeamMiley was up next with Caldwell. She did Did I Ever Love You by Leonard Cohen, and she didn't know the song in rehearsal, was even reading the lyrics, but she was still singing the spit out of it. She was beautiful as she started this performance in this shimmery gown with her shoulders out, the rose in her hand, and she sounded so amazing with such a pure straight tone to open it out. I was a little thrown by the bass line coming in the chorus, and it had kind of a jerky feel because it felt more personal and touching with just the piano and the background vocals. Allie kept her intensity though throughout, and such an emotional approach all the way. She also hit some crazy high notes at one point, just climbing, not screeching, not screaming. Beautiful technique, and ending it out sweetly. All the coaches stood for her, and this was just an amazing performance. And in the pimp spot, we had TeamAdam with Brendan Fletcher. He did Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers Band, and he played the electric guitar for this and started out with a lot of angsty. He looked all mean and angry. I mean, he was like a demon up there. After he came off the mic stand, he was sounding good. But there was a little place in there where it seemed like he got a little lost in the moment, and he had to look back at the band to make sure where he was. Let me tell you, just this Saturday, I had kind of the same thing going. I had started working my way back to hear what was going on because I was all into it. I was doing my thing. But anyway, that's me. He did eventually make it back to the mic stand to close it out nicely. Well, not exactly nicely. It was hard and rough. All the coaches except for Blake stood for him. And what a night. I think tonight people were really singing for their lives. Tomorrow night, one will be going home. They didn't announce if it's going to be the Twitter save, but I believe they will be having 2 or 3 people sing, a bottom 2 or bottom 3, have them sing for the Twitter save. I'm not sure how they're going to handle it. But we'll find out tomorrow night, I guess, because I hope to see you then. This is Robert Anton, robertanton.com. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Thanks for your thumbs if you haven't done so already. Also, let me know if you stuck around, and I'll see you guys soon. I'm out.